look at the weather, just negativity. So this is not even nowadays spiritual knowledge, but one can expand this, and we can understand that by developing spiritual consciousness, one actually is transported to the spiritual world. Yeah? If you have a spiritual consciousness, that means you're seeing Krishna, you're seeing the service of Krishna, you're dedicating all your life to Krishna, then you are not anymore actually in the material world. Your consciousness is spiritual. Because consciousness determines where you are. We see the world a little bit the way we are. Like some people, actually there was I saw a documentary actually. It was many years ago, but it was in Germany, in Russia, I think in India, and in what is this country called? It's Kalahari, South Africa, west of South Africa. I think it's called West Africa, no? Southwest Africa. Don't you remember? It's a desert on the west of South Africa. Anyway, so...
Just Kalahari.
Kalahari.
Yeah.
But how is the country called?
I don't know.
So, anyway, so this documentary was very interesting because they rented a bus and they pretended that the bus broke. So they drove, 20 kilometers, and then the bus driver stopped and said, "Oh, the bus is broken, we cannot drive anymore." You see, one place was Germany. In Germany, everybody goes out. I mean, they are on holidays. They don't have to be angry or in a hurry. You see, this Southwest Africa, they go out, they start to play music, they start to cook something, to make tea. The children find the river. It's just like a party. They don't care at all. Russia actually quite similar. Everybody goes out, they start to cook, they smoke, and nobody cares about the broken bus. And I actually got this as a lesson. Exactly the same thing happened, to 4 sets of people, and one was completely angry, and upset. We're going to be late, to look at this church, probably some kind of stupid monument. And the other ones, they just took it as it comes. They took the opportunity to make something good out of it. So consciousness is very much influencing the way we perceive the world. So what we try to learn in Krishna conscious is to see the world from a spiritual perspective. And what means a spiritual perspective? It means a perspective in which we are connected with Krishna. In the material world, everything is about me. Me. What do I need? What makes me happy? How can I take care of myself? It's me. Everything centered around me. This is pure material consciousness. Of course, all children are born like that, because maybe if they were not born like that, they would not survive. But gradually, when people grow up, we start to learn that actually, if we give to others, if we are not just everything about me, if we give to others, then also something comes back to us. This is the first little step in spiritual life. And this is why in the Vedas, they recommend that one takes to family life. Because if you have children, you have to run all your life after them. They are small, so many things to do, and they grow up, and then they need your support, and in this way you develop unselfishness, which is the first step in spiritual life. And how to learn this? This is by associating with the pure devotee. So those who are always busy with fruitive activities, fruitive activities means for me, come to the Lord in material distress, and at that time associate with pure devotees and become in their distress devotees of the Lord. Those who are simply frustrated also come sometimes to associate with pure devotees and become inquisitive to know about God. Similarly, when the dry philosophers are frustrated in every field of knowledge, they sometimes want to learn of God, and they come to the Supreme Lord to render devotional service, and thus transcend knowledge of the impersonal Brahman and the localized Paramatma, and come to the personal conception of God by the grace of the Supreme Lord and his pure devotee. On the whole, the distressed, the inquisitive, the seekers of knowledge, and those who are in need of money are free from all material desires, and when they fully understand that material remuneration has nothing to do with spiritual improvement, they become pure devotees. So, we all start in the same way in devotional service. We become full of material desires, and then by serving Krishna, by struggling to please Krishna, by following spiritual discipline, we gradually develop a higher taste and a higher consciousness. Are you sending now or not?
Yeah, it is okay.
It's working, okay. So as long as such purified stage is not attained, devotees in transcendental service of the Lord are tainted. What happened here? Are tainted to fruitive activities, and they search after mundane knowledge, etc. So one has to transcend all of this before one can come to the stage of pure devotional service. So pure devotional service, it means, as we said before, to serve Krishna without personal motivations. And that service, when it is done like that, it's ecstatic. All material problems, somehow they leave us when we take up the devotional service of Krishna. Why? Because our consciousness is transported to the material world, to the spiritual world. And actually there is, in the Vedas, there is different descriptions of God. There is many descriptions. He has all powers, all beauty, all fame, all renunciation. But there is one description which is very beautiful, and this is just a few words. It says, Ananda Mayo Bhyasat. It means the Supreme Lord is the source of all bliss. So Ananda in Sanskrit means bliss or transcendental spiritual happiness. So Krishna is the source of this transcendental bliss. And if one associates with Krishna, like for instance, when we chant the Hare Krishna mantra, we are associating with Krishna directly by listening to his name, then this Ananda, this bliss of the Supreme Lord, transfers to us, and we become free from material sufferings. So this is a little bit the purport of this verse. This little book, the Isopanisad, which we started to read 1 year ago, there is 10 main Upanishads. This is Isopanisad.
10?
Yeah, 10 principal ones. There is 108. So there is Isopanisad, Kena, Katha, Prajna, Munda, Mandakya, Aitareya, Taittiriya, Brihadaranyaka. This is the 10 Chandogya, the 10 main Upanishads. And here this Isha Upanishad, I wrote actually here today, this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different topics. So the first 3 verses, and it also has an invocation, which is actually very beautiful, which I read the Sanskrit, which is Om Purnam Adaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. And the translation in English is, the personality of Godhead is perfect and complete, and because he is completely perfect, all emanations from him, such as this phenomenal world, are perfectly equipped as complete wholes. whatever is produced of the complete whole is also complete in itself. Because he is the complete whole, even though so many complete units emanate from him, he remains the complete balance. So this word Purnam means complete. So not only is God complete, there is nothing lacking in him. Even if he gives something, he's still the same person, unchanged. But not only that, but everything which he creates, which emanates from him, like this phenomenal world, is also perfect and complete. The universe is going on for billions of years, and we don't see Krishna here. He comes and says, okay, today it must rain, today it must be wind. No, everything is working automatically because of the power of the Lord and completely organized. So the next mantra, which is mantra number 1, it says, it's a very famous mantra, Ishavasyam idam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bhunjitaha ma grida kasyasvid dhanam. Everything, animate or inanimate, that is within the universe is controlled and owned by the Lord. One should therefore accept only those things necessary for himself, which are set aside as his quota, and one should not accept other things, knowing well to whom they belong. So in these verses and the next two, the discussion is what the Isopanisad is trying to teach us is to live in harmony with the Supreme. So the first one, we should understand that he is complete, is perfect, and everything which comes from him is also perfect. And on the second one, we understand that, which I just read now, that we should accept things, we should trust Krishna, and we should accept only the things which are given to us as our quota. We should not try to get more than our quota, knowing well that they belong to Krishna. Sometimes I come to places and devotees have collected so many things. We don't need to collect. When we need something, if you are devotees of Krishna, Krishna will give us. But sometimes I've been in temples, devotees collect so many things. We are.
What do they collect?
They collect furniture, they collect clothes, they collect a broken stove because one day they will fix it. Some old shoes that they will send for repair, I don't know, don't ask me, but sometimes in the temples you see so many things collected. We don't need to do that. Krishna is the owner of everything. Whenever we need something, Krishna will supply. He sees our needs. Mantra number 2. Kurva neveha karmani jijivech chitam samaha evam tvai nanithitosti nakarma lipyate nare. So if one lives in this consciousness that one lives for pleasing Krishna, it is said one may aspire to live for hundreds of years. If he continuously goes on working in that way. For that sort of work will not bind him to the law of karma. There is no alternative to this way for man. So in the mantra 1, go back again, going to go a little bit back and forth. So if one understands that everything in the universe is owned and controlled by the Lord, and if one accepts things only which are given to him by the Lord, and understands that the rest belongs to Krishna, if one lives with this understanding, you can live for hundreds of years, and you will not accumulate any karma. Mantra number 3. This is heavy mantra. Asurya nama te loka andhena tamasavritaha tamste prityabhigachanti yeke chatmanahano janaha. The killer of the soul, the killer of the soul, he must enter into the planets known as the worlds of the faithless, full of darkness and ignorance. It's a heavy verse. This is an interesting verse. We see this a few times in the Isopanisad. That Isopanisad uses this kind of little statements which you will not normally not see in the Vedic literatures, like the killer of the soul. I mean, we read everywhere the soul is immortal. Yeah. Who is the killer of the soul? Mohini.
Killer of the soul. Ego. Ego.
Huh?
Ego, she said. What? Desire.
I mean, here Srila Prabhupada is referring to those people who preach atheism and who say that there is nothing except matter.
One more time.
Srila Prabhupada here in this verse, and you can see in the purport, he's referring to people who are preaching atheism.
Oh yeah, okay, that's killing the soul.
Because we are eternal, and you are telling people you are not eternal, you're going to die. You must serve us. Go out and work for us. So this is the killer of the soul. So this is the first part of the Upanishad. So these first verses, he is trying to teach us how to live in harmony with the Supreme Lord. And to do that, we must understand that we should live simply, understanding that everything belongs to the Lord and He will supply to us whatever is needed. And we should not listen from people who advise us to follow materialistic philosophy. So now we're going to go to the second part, which is verses or mantra 4 to 8. And in this part, the Isopanishad is going to explain us how the Supreme Lord, or the Ishvara, Ishvara means supreme controller. It's the same word like in Isha, Isha means Supreme Lord, Ishvara, the supreme controller. So Isopanishad's main subject matter is how to attain the Ishvara, how to understand and attain the Supreme Lord. So now, explaining the first part, how we live in harmony with the Lord. Now the second part comes, how the Lord, the Supreme Lord, Ishvara, can be understood by spiritual vision. So I will read just the English. Although fixed in His abode, the personality of Godhead is swifter than the mind and can overcome all others running. The powerful demigods cannot approach Him. Although in one place, He controls those who supply the air and the rain. He surpasses all in excellence. So now again here, the Isopanishad is using a little humor. It says that the Lord is in one place, but still He's moving faster than the mind. Because, I mean, normally, if you are fixed in one place, you cannot move. So how comes that the Lord can move? Yeah, because, I mean, the Lord maybe is not moving. Lord doesn't have a material body, so He's not moving from the place to place. But because the consciousness of the Lord is all-pervasive, He's moving quicker than the mind. You can never understand Krishna fully. So even the powerful demigods, they cannot approach Him. Although He is in one place, He controls those who supply the air and the rain. He surpasses all in excellence. 4, mantra 5. The Supreme Lord walks and does not walk. He is far away, but he is very near as well. He is within everything, and yet he is outside of everything. This is one of the most amazing descriptions of the Lord. This is not too difficult, no? This is heavy philosophical books. The Supreme Lord walks and does not walk. I mean, how can you say such a thing? Emma?
Yes, you mentioned before, Prabhu, like he not move, he's, yeah, and it is his conscious.
No, but here is speaking about walking.
It is walking with his conscious, his mind or his energy. Permeate.
This is correct,
Yeah.
but one could be a little bit more specific. That why they say that the Lord does not walk? Because the Lord doesn't have a material body. Only with a material body can you walk. But if you have a spiritual body, you can still walk with your spiritual body. So Krishna, this is a deep verse because it says Krishna doesn't have a material body. Krishna is fully 100% spiritual. Sometimes in Indian books, there is this speculation that God is within the deity, for instance. God is not within the deity. God is the deity. There is no inside and outside for Krishna. For us, we have a soul which is eternal, which is residing within the body. And we have this body which is made of a different energy. And the soul is separated from the body. Like for instance, when we die, you fly away somewhere. So for us, there is difference between the soul, which is inside the body, and the material body, which is like external to the soul. For the Lord, there is no difference. His whole body is spiritual energy. He is far away, but is very near as well. Why is he far away? It's Vaikuntha. Many kilometers. No, I'm just... No, this is the Upanishad is trying to make us to think. Krishna is far away. Why is Krishna far away? Because, let's say you want to see the King of Sweden. Okay? What do you have to do? Somebody, one of you tell me. I'm not going to tell you because I'm not Swedish.
You have to learn to approach the king.
How you do that?
You have to learn to bow down,
Yeah.
and dress properly.
And then you will meet the king. It's not so easy.
No, it's not so easy.
First you have to go to Stockholm.
Yeah, and you have to be nice.
He's in Stockholm. So this means, normally, how do you say, higher personalities, they are difficult to reach. So God, if one is materialistic, if one is demanding to see God, he will not be able to see God. It's like the king goes home every day, and he has his children. I don't know if he has children? Grown-up children. He has grandchildren. Everybody sees him. They play with him. They eat dinner with him. For them, it's no problem. But if one is not connected with the king and belongs to the king's family, then it will be very difficult. You go to the castle, you say, I want to see the king, and I said, get lost. You don't belong here. So this is an example which says that the Lord is very far away. He is practically unreachable. But if we become a devotee of Krishna, we will act in such a way that Krishna will consider us a part of those who are near him. We'll be part of Krishna's family. And then he is very near. Another way in which Krishna is very near, Krishna is within our heart. So inside ourselves, there is a lot of people. No. Two, there is our soul. The soul is within the heart, the spiritual particle which gives consciousness and life to this body. And besides the soul, it's also the Paramatma, the super soul. Super soul is an expansion of the Lord, which when we come from the spiritual world, He comes with the soul to guide us. So Krishna is also within us. So He's very near. I mean, He's inside us. He cannot be nearer, next to the spirit soul. So He is within everything, and yet He's outside everything. He's within everything. Why? Because without the energy of the Lord, without the organization of the Lord, who organizes this material world, nothing can exist. But still He's not affected by that. He's living in His own transcendental abode. So this was number 5. Number 6. So now we continue. The subject is spiritual vision, how to see things in a spiritual way. He who sees everything in relation to the Supreme Lord, who sees all the entities, has his parts and parcels, and who sees the Supreme Lord within everything, never hates anything nor any being. These verses are very deep. If you have this little book, you have in Swedish, Isopanisad.
I think yes.
In English?
Yes.
If you have read this book, it is very nice to study, because I mean all these verses, they are so beautiful. He who sees everything in relation to the Supreme Lord, and who sees all living entities as his part and parcels. So it's not enough to see everything in relationship with the Lord. What does it mean to see everything in relationship with the Lord? If I see a tree, I understand, this is created by the Lord. Whatever we see, we understand this is the creation of the Lord. This is somehow related to the Lord. But not only that, also we should see all the living entities as parts and parcels of Krishna. So Krishna is not alone. Krishna has his parts and parcels, which are all the living entities. And living entities doesn't mean just the humans. It means the animals, the fishes, the plants, whatever. I don't know, bacteria and... But anyway, all the living entities. Wherever there is a soul, this is a part and parcel of Krishna. So a person who can see things like that, he never hates anything nor any being. We see nowadays there is so much hatred in the world. They have these United Nations to make everybody united, but during my life, which is like 70 years, I just see more and more hatred. The hatred between different races, between different countries, hatred between woman and man, no harmony. Everybody has to hate somebody. So this is a product of atheism, because when one sees Krishna in the center of everything, then one doesn't have to hate anything or anybody.
If there is a murderer,
Huh?
if there is a murderer loose, maybe,
Police will catch him.
huh?
Don't worry, the police will catch
Yeah,
him.
but still, how can you see Krishna in a person like that? It's difficult when it's evil.
I mean, when you relate with the world, at least for us devotees, there is certain principles, and one principle is that we avoid demoniac people.
But if they move into your house, no, then you just pray and chant as much as you can, and all of a sudden, everything is just gone.
They are gone.
Go to prison.
Yeah, they are gone.
Yeah.
So mantra number 7. One who always sees all living entities as spiritual sparks, in quality one with the Lord, becomes a true knower of things. What then can be illusion or anxiety for him? I mean, these verses are completely amazing. One who always sees all living entities as spiritual sparks, in quality one with the Lord, becomes a true knower of things. So, why there is quarrel and problems in this world, it's because, first of all, we don't see the Lord. We don't see the Supreme Lord. That's the first. And then we see ourselves separated from everybody else. I mean, like, I was actually thinking a little bit like the Europeans. The Europeans have been very racistic people. You know what they did in India? You know. You don't know. You should look at the movies about the British in India. What they did in Africa, what they did in South America. Why? Because they were thinking, we are Christians, we have certain feelings, we are human, but these people are not human. This is, I mean, otherwise, if you think that the others are human, how will you keep, for instance, slaves? So this vision of seeing people separated from God has created so much trouble in the world, and is creating so much trouble in the world. So the advice here of the Isopanisad is that we should see all living entities as spiritual sparks in quality with one with the Lord. What this means? This means respect. Everybody should be treated with respect. I mean, like the feelings, for instance, of the mother for the children, I mean, they are the same. If you are in Europe, if you are in Africa, if you are in India, if you are in New Guinea, wherever you are, the feelings which the people have, they are very similar. So, but one has to develop a little bit of a spiritual vision in order to understand this unity amongst not only all people, but also amongst all living entities. So if we can see all the living entities related with Krishna, then you become the true knower of things. And there will be no more anxiety or illusion. So this is the last verse, which teaches us how we can develop a spiritual vision. So such a person must factually know the greatest of all, who is unembodied, omniscient, beyond reproach, without veins, pure, uncontaminated, the self-sufficient philosopher, and who has fulfilled one's desires since time immemorial. So here are 8 qualities of the Lord. So first of all, unembodied. Unembodied, it doesn't mean that God is impersonal, it just means that God doesn't have a material body. Krishna's body is 100% made of spiritual energy. You know, like we have a tiny soul within, a little spark of spiritual energy, so Krishna's whole body and all his expansions they're all made of spiritual energy. Omniscient. Omniscient, it means all-knowing. He knows everything which is going on everywhere, past, present, future. Beyond reproach. Beyond reproach, it means you cannot find any fault in him. Without veins. You know what's a vein? Åder. Ven på svenska. Åder och ven.
Blodådror.
Blodådror och vad heter de andra som kommer tillbaka med blodet? Vener. So here it says Krishna has no veins. And this also again means that Krishna does not have a material body. His body, it is there, one can see Krishna's body if one is fortunate, but that body doesn't have veins. It means it's not made of matter. Okay? Veins are kind of very nice construction, but material. He is pure. That means is never any desire which Krishna has. You can say it's impure, or that Krishna is ever polluted by anything. Uncontaminated. Sometimes we can become contaminated. We can sometimes become contaminated because we are contemplating certain thoughts, or because we are not clean, or because we have done something not correct. We can become contaminated. And Krishna is a self-sufficient philosopher, and he has been fulfilling the desires of everyone since time immemorial. So this is also an interesting aspect of Krishna. We were earlier speaking a little bit about the super soul. I mean, like one example. Everybody wants to become successful, or everybody wants to become rich. But why just a few people do that? Have you thought about that?
Why a few people want to have success?
No, everybody wants to be successful, but only a few people reach it. So this is related with the super soul. So we have desires. We have desires in this world. We all have desires. Nobody can live without a desire. It's the manifestation of the soul. It's to have desires. So we all have desires. Sometimes we have material desires. Sometimes we have spiritual desires. So Krishna, within the heart, directs the living entity to fulfill his desires, if that is in accordance with the karma for materialists. For devotees, Krishna fulfills all desires. If you have a spiritual desire, Krishna will fulfill it for you. I can write guarantee. Everyone can get a certificate. So therefore, I'm going to finish here on this verse number 8. Then we're going to start from verse number 9. So if you have possibility, I would suggest, because these are not easy topics, I touched many things today, because I went through the first part of the Isopanisad. But if you have the possibility, take home a book with you. You have one already, I can see. One Isopanisad, and you study it. Because this is one of the first books which Srila Prabhupada translated. And interesting enough, this is one of the first Upanishads. There is a list of these 10 Upanishads, 10 principal Upanishads. This is the first. Ishakena Kata Prashna. This is the 4 first. Ishakena Kata Prashna, the 4 first Upanishads. Munda Mandukya. What is the other one? Munda Mandukya, Taittiriya Upanishad. And then Aitareya, Chandogya, and Brihadaranyaka. So these 10, they are the main Upanishads. So Srila Prabhupada translated this, and this is a very good introduction. Actually, the translation is discovering the original person. This is how the BBT in Srila Prabhupada's times, how they made the subtitle, Swish Upanishad, Discovering the Original Person. So this is very nice. It's very deep philosophical truths which are there, as we have read. about Krishna's essence, the essence of the Lord. And you don't find hardly this in anywhere. So we are very happy to have come in contact with Srila Prabhupada and with his translation of Isopanisad. Is there any questions or comments? Oh my God, it's late. What do you have to say? Hare Krishna.
But when I travel
Continue.
short travels, I always bring this one because it's not heavy or just easy to pack.
Yeah,
So
it's an amazing book.
and read one of these mantras every night or whatever.
But these mantras, I mean, like, in general, the Upanishads, they're very deep. They are called the Jnana Kanda, the knowledge part of the Vedic literatures, and they're normally very deep. They speak about the soul, they speak about the Brahman, the Supreme Lord, His nature. Like here we see what is real knowledge, how we see the other living entities, the body of Krishna, the body of God, what is composed of. So very deep philosophical truths.
But the explanation from Prabhupada is just
Yeah,
every time so wonderful.
it's amazing. Okay, so I'm going to, if you have any questions or comments, you can take the opportunity. Otherwise, we wait until next year. It's in a few weeks.
Okay.
See you next year.
We'll come next year, January.
It will be open during Christmas?
Yes, I create one program 26-27 and more little for the children.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
I think we are going on.
And December?
26,
Hare
27.
Krishna.
Next Sunday program?
Yes, we have next Sunday too. Yeah.
Very nice. Okay, so Emma, we proceed here? Okay. Thank you very much. Bhagavad Srila Prabhupada. Shri Isopanisad ki jai. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutali. Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati Devi Guruvani Pracha. I have this machine here. Welcome.
Discussion and bringing all this knowledge.
I was just reading. I don't know anything.
It was much more. I just read it. And thank you for your presence and take the
Welcome
time to
always.
come here.
Welcome.
Hare Krishna, Hare Bol. Welcome to everyone. Nice to see you.